Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of Beneath the Surface, Tabletop Tempest's first actual play in the TTRPG space. I am Kris, pronouns they, she, and I will be your game master for this lovely campaign. I am, as I will say every week, beyond delighted and blessed that I am surrounded by cast members both on and off screen that are either immigrants or children of immigrants themselves. And together, we are bringing you a story inspired by Brazilian folklore that explores the nuances of living abroad when your ancestry is located in a place in another country. I would first like my players who are bringing this story to life to introduce themselves and who they are playing, starting off with Carmen. With Clare, oh my gosh, see? I'm mixing up the names.
Well, you're not that wrong, because Carmen is actually one of my names. Clare Lordrop. Hi, my name is Clare. My pronouns are she, her. I will be playing Carmen Pereira, whose pronouns are also she, her, and I will be using the Star playbook.
And now we jump on over to the lovely Danny.
Hey y'all, my name is Danny, my pronouns are he, him, and I will be playing Myto Bui. Their pronouns are they, any, and they'll be the brain playbook, and I also have a little companion named Stitches. And it's 4 episodes in, we still don't really know what Stitches is. A little animal, cat, dog, bear, monkey, robot? Who knows?
But if you watch the last episode, he salivates. So maybe not
Everywhere.
robot? I don't know. On to the next one, we got Victor.
Hi everybody, I am Victor, pronouns he, him. I play Orúno Munín, also he, him pronouns, and he plays the most vanilla book, which is called The Doomed.
You almost had me there for a second. Now on to our next lovely player, Val.
Hi everyone, I am Valiant Dorian. I use he, him, his pronouns, and tonight I have the distinct pleasure of playing Gabriel Zhao, who uses he, they pronouns.
And
I should also mention, his playbook is a Scion. For y'all, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. And last but not least, our lovely player with a stick, Jay.
Hi, that is me, Nala J. Wu. Pronouns they, them. Stick. My character's name is Tamsyn Zhao. She also goes by Tom. Pronouns she and a secret they for those who know. That rhymed as well. And I am the Legacy playbook and also Gabriel's younger sister.
Ooh. Next up, the trigger warnings for this campaign. What we will see constantly most weeks is familial generational trauma, loss and grief, rage, lineage and stories, and specifics possible to this episode, discussions of death, discussions or expressions of grief, discussions of family trauma, possible PC versus PC or PC versus NPC violent or not so violent conflict. And then specific for this episode, we do have a pretty sincere trigger warning for emotional manipulation. The player that it involves has been checked in with offline, and if anything comes up, we will be moving away or drawing back just a little bit. But for anybody watching, if at any time it becomes too much for you, please hit that pause button. All of these episodes are pre-recorded. If you need to skip forward or come back to it another time, you do have that option. Lastly, for this episode, and for the entire campaign, we are, as you heard from the playbooks, using the Masks TTRPG system. And because of that, would like to thank Magpie Games for partnering with us. And they've provided us a few copies that we will be using as giveaways in pretty soon episodes. So be on the lookout for that. Also, a huge thank you to our official dice sponsor for the entire campaign, Smoking Glue Guns. The lovely Whitney will be gifting some dice specifically made for this season. My players all and producer will get some dice, and also a couple of you through a giveaway will be getting some as well. And let me just say, Whitney sent me the pictures of the finished product. They're getting sent in the mail in a couple days. They're so cute. I love them so much. I'm so excited. I hope they roll nat ones for you guys. But anyways, are my players ready to dive in? Just kidding. I hope they roll 6s.
Define ready. What do you mean? What do you mean?
You mean right after you said maybe we all roll nat ones?
I hope
Yeah,
those
what do
dice
you
do.
mean?
So
Okay.
you
I'm ready.
mean?
What do you mean?
Is everybody ready? Can I get a thumbs up?
Do a
Even if
thumbs
it's
down.
hesitant. A thumb is a thumb right now, and we are gonna take it. It does do the thumbs down bubble. But we have picked up with all of you following Irasima with William doing like what a 6-year-old does, where they're trying to do these cool moves and parkour along the street as you guys are walking towards, as Gabriel would say it, the Coliseum. And you are led by Irasima, more or less about a 15-minute walk. And as you approach, you witness this 100-foot stone circular wall domed building. You see coral of luminescent colors all around the outside and a golden closed dome from above. You all enter the Coliseum, and you're the only ones there, but you see that the structure's interior is this vast circular arena, and the arena's floor is composed of sand, with seating areas around the entire circle rising steeply from the sides in smooth dark stone. The dome overhead you is constructed from this translucent material that resembles thick golden glass that's allowing this filtered, kind of perfect golden hour sunlight to illuminate the interior. And you see the light is dancing not only across the arena, but highlighting about 70 feet above you along the circular walls, images of people of all ages, faces that seem familiar, though you have no prior memory of them. Faces of those who you don't know, but have also tested their mettle in the heart of this underwater world. Irasima guides you all to one of the front rows of the arenas, and the only thing that is now separating you from the sand flooring is a small stone wall, maybe 3 feet above the ground, and Irasima brings you to this section of seating. Well, the last thing before you can take a break and rest for the night. We will be getting you all comfortable with whatever gifts the Milan has given you. But not all of you will actually be here. And you see her kind of with these long fingertips again. She points off to the side near the entrance that you walked through, that there's this 5 foot by 5 foot wide by 15 foot tall door. And she points over to it. Myto, you will be in there.
Immediately, Myto looks at Gabriel for confirmation and is like,
Gabriel looks over to Myto, looks over to Irasima, and I think Irasima to Gabriel is a kind of person who doesn't really mess around or joke. And I think Gabriel nods over to Myto, leaning, like lowering himself. I think they mean it. Yeah. Will you be okay?
I think so. And Myto looks over at Irasima. Can I take stitches?
Yes,
Muted.
you can take stitches.
Okay. All right. Myto kind of just looks at the rest of the group, and just kind of glances over, and is taking this huge coliseum in with like everything that they've ever known is like kind of turned upside down because science can't explain any of this, and it's like, okay, do I just go through the door?
Yes, the door will open automatically for you.
Can you tell me what's on the other side of the door before I say yes that I'm going through the door?
She's waiting for you.
Can I get clarification on who she
She's
is?
actually been waiting for you, and we don't have a lot of time.
And then at this point, I think Myto just kind of stumbles over, holding Stitches. Usually Stitches is either in a pocket or on the shoulder, but like it's kind of like holding Stitches close to her chest, and it's just like almost every step is just like looking behind and is like, is anybody else come? Okay, nobody else is coming. And Myto approaches the door.
Okay. And you approach it, and the doors swing open. And nobody from the outside can really see it. You can see it because you're close enough, and you see about like a 30 by 30 room that is dark to what looks like a black pit of abyss to everyone else. But since you're standing right in front of it, you see like monitors in sleep mode, and you see like these blue wirings all across the room, and you see that this room is filled with technology, but the light is off and the door is open, which you haven't stepped through.
Oh, I think when Myto sees that tech, they just kind of drop Stitches, and Stitches just like lands, and just like looks around the room and is just trying to find a light switch to flip it on.
Okay. The four of you see Myto step into this room and the door shut behind him. And Myto, what you see is the light just automatically turns on when you hear the doors close behind you. And this room is filled with technology, but beyond what you're used to. If you're used to your own invention of 7 or 8G, this is 15G equipment. You see computers with RAMs more than 10 times the size you are used to. You see screens adorning two of the walls, showcasing different parts of the Sidaji. And then to your left, which would be facing the arena itself, you see a large 30-foot screen side to side of the entire wall. And beneath it, on top of a desk, you see a red light, a microphone, and a joystick with a chair just outside of it. And you hear over the intercom, "I heard the door, is that Myto?" As you hear Yada's voice coming over the intercom.
Myto kind of excitedly goes over to the red button and the joystick, and like both presses the red button and starts going the joystick. Yeah, it's Myto. Is that Yara?
Yes, yeah, this is me. You're probably messing around with the joystick right now. And as you're doing that, you see the camera angle on this 30-foot screen comes to life, and you can see the entire arena, and you're now watching the face of your four cousins, eyes wide, having just watched you get enveloped by these sliding metal doors, just staring off at you and then looking around the arena. Yeah, if you move the joystick too fast, you might get a little sick. I noticed you were wearing glasses. I don't know if those are blue light, or maybe you constructed them yourself.
Oh, they're actually just for fashion.
And you just hear this long pause.
I actually have 20/20 vision. I just thought they were cute.
Oh, well, that must be nice. I'm guessing Irasima didn't tell you anything.
You're correct. Other than that, she was waiting for you, and she is like a very expansive pronoun. So I was like, who could she be? And then when I heard your voice, is everything gonna be okay? Why am I in here and my cousins are out there?
You are here because, and how do I put this? When you touched the blue algae, you didn't seem to react as much. Which I have a feeling you may be able to play with some of the gadgets I have installed there. So, and then all of a sudden you see all of these little like pop-ups on this come up, and you start seeing vitals of your cousins. You see heart rate, you see oxygen intake, and you're seeing like just about most basic questions you could ask about vitals are coming up. And you hear Yada's voice. So, I'm going to guess you're more of the brain of your cousins. Part of the family, part of what I do is I have studied the ocean and what we can learn from it and the current. And the reason why I do that is because I have an engineering background. And all of these fun little gadgets are mine. But I obviously am alive and can't really be there right now. So that is why you are there. And I am here to help walk you through everything. But really, your job is to watch what your cousins are doing and ask me any questions that you want, or try to figure out maybe where their weak points are. And then at the end of everything, and as you say that, you hear this like where the one of the walls that you didn't see anything around, you hear the noise and you turn back, and the wall kind of separates a bit. And talk about gadgets and gizmos aplenty on this wall. And you hear Yara on the other line go, "You can make one piece of equipment for each of your cousins that you think might be useful for them. You don't have to make them right now. Just come up with it, and then you can have, the next day, because you'll need time. I don't know how your genius works, but you'll need time to maybe come up with things, take some notes, and you could come back tomorrow or sometime before you all leave to the cave to put some things together."
Oh
How does
wow.
this sound?
It sounds amazing. But is there a way that I can let them know that I'm okay, or can I talk to them?
You can talk to them after.
Okay, so right now I just have to watch them like little rats and chameleons.
Is that not what you do at home, at the farm?
Oh, I do, but normally it's
I
animals.
do remember that drone 10 years ago. You really don't think the drone fooled all of us, did you?
Well, and you see Myto kind of like go from this super ecstatic, very excitable state to a kind of like a solemner state, and it's like, I just, well, I wasn't trying to fool anybody. It was just I didn't think I was needed here, and I just wanted to be involved, but I had so much to do back at the farm. But if I can help now, I'm more than happy to.
You are needed now.
Okay. Okay. So, objective 1, observe my cousins. Objective 2, make them cool gadgets. I think I can do that.
Okay. Perfect.
Um,
I'll be in touch after the first round. How about that?
first round.
Yep. Talk to you soon. And you just hear it on the mic.
And Myto immediately looks down at Stitches and is like, and Stitches immediately crawls up to Myto's shoulder, and they kind of get comfortable, and it's almost like this is their comfort zone. They're back at home, and they're about to solve a problem, and it's just like typing, trying to gather things around them, and it's just like, okay, good luck, cousins. Let's go.
Let's go. Okay. And the camera pans outside to the 4 of you, having just watched the doors close behind Myto. And Irasima looks at you all, nods. Well, who's ready?
Gabriel's staring after Myto, like awaiting for like a flash of a light or something to indicate what's behind the closed doors, but like furrows his brow, sighs a little bit, and looks back towards Irasima. I'm ready when everyone else is. We're good? He's like rolling his shoulders because we're in a coliseum once again.
Orúno is just looking at you and like back at the door near Sima. Just waiting to see what happens.
Look the most ready. And she points at Gabriel with her long finger. And then immediately flashes it to Carmen. So we'll have you go first. Follow me. And Irasima walks around the corner that you guys just came towards the center of the sand floor.
I think Carmen, who looked the least ready, in case that wasn't clear, looks at Gabriel and is like, do I
Gabriel is consistently being placed in this position where everyone's just like, are they being really serious right now? And every time Gabriel looks over to Irasiba, there's an additional burden of dread because they do not come across him as someone who like f's around with things like this. So he's just like nodding at you, Carmen, like you gotta do it.
Carmen ties her
Tilts his
hair up
head.
in a ponytail because she doesn't know what's happening, but she doesn't want hair stuck to the back of her neck while she's doing it. And follows.
Okay. As you follow to the center, we can see William, who was sitting kind of right in between Orúno and Carmen, kind of inch a little closer to Orúno than he was before. And the three of you hear him go under his breath, "Oh, this isn't gonna be good." And his eyes are wide.
What do you mean? You said it's not gonna be good. What do you mean?
No.
gonna happen?
It seems scary.
Yeah, no, I got that much.
Yeah. No, you don't get it yet. No. Shh, she might hear us. And just sits a little bit more at attention and just eyes wide looking at the center of the arena.
There's this like looking at Orúno's face, looking toward Gabriel, like.
Okay, if Gabriel sees your face change of all people, he like raises an eyebrow, looks at the back of Carmen, and like covers his mouth. And starts praying to every god that like in the pantheon. And it's just like, please God, let she survive this.
Carmen, you get to the center and you are about like 4 feet facing Irasima, and just a soft smile comes on their face. And they put their hands behind their back and start to walk around you. And as they get to the back of you and they're walking forward, you just hear them ask, "So, tell me about your life. What brings you joy?" As they continue just walking, they're just gonna keep circling you.
Carmen, not one to let anyone catch a bad angle of her, is doing everything in her power to keep Irasima from looking at her from the back or catch her off guard. It's like, well, it seems like you guys know a lot here already. Seems like you know a lot about me. Why don't you tell me? And in her head, she's like, bring it, old lady.
And this time, as she would have passed around you not once, but now she's coming back around your front the second time. And as you ask that, you see her smile kind of widen, just the tiniest bit sinister. And look at your playbook for me real quick. And
On it.
as she follows or goes around you the second time, mark afraid, the condition afraid for me. No roll, mark it.
That's great. Done.
And you see her turn, like walk up as she hears you ask that question. And when she looks at you with this sinister smile, you feel, and Myto, you see on the screen, your heart rate increase as you feel your hands starting to sweat a little bit. And she looks at you as she keeps walking. No, you're right. We know a lot about you, but it's the details. And the last thing you can see as she's behind you is like those long fingernails before she's coming around the other side. The details are what I don't know. You have an older brother, Tobias. I know that you have him as a brother, but I want to know, what was it like living in a lifetime of standing in his shadow? As she matches your gaze as she's passing in front of you the third time.
Well, I mean, I don't know. There's not much to tell there. What's it like just being in the shadow of basic mediocrity? So, like, all time? Nondescript. Nothing to report.
Mm.
And I think her face is, like, polite, but,
Mhm.
like, she's not vibing with this lady. And she doesn't want to talk about Tobias.
She passes you, at this time it would be the 5th time because a couple circles have gone. And she stops in front of you this time and turns her body facing towards you now. And walks up to you, unless you take a step back, till you are mere inches nose to nose, as they have bent down a little bit to your level. Do you move or no?
I think she's scared, but she's not going to be the one in this setting to step back.
Do you want to take my hand again then? If you're so tough? And the fingernails kind of unravel, and Irasima places a palm open in front of her.
Well, far be it from me to say no to the elderly, and takes your hand.
Playbook. Mark insecure. You now have 2 conditions.
Vibe.
And she pulls you in. And Myto, you hear this loud as daylight, but the room echoes this almost, even though it's said in a whisper. What has it been like to finally be a return on investment for your family? As Myto, you see the heart rate increase again, and you start to see the oxygen levels decrease.
And Myto out loud is just like, oh gosh, Carmen, just open up, Carmen.
I think that in particular, like, hits Carmen really hard, specifically hearing return on investment. She hasn't heard like conversations around this and the way her parents feel about her for a long time, and I think she tries to pull her hand away and step back at that moment.
And Irasima just lets your hand go. And the smile is just as sinister as ever. You can't access any of your powers, can you?
Does
Why?
Carmen know if she can? Because I think it seemed accidental all up to this point. She doesn't say anything.
Then maybe not.
Okay, she doesn't say anything.
Why were you picked? Why didn't the Milan just ask for Tobias instead? I mean, he is the eldest.
I think Carmen starts to sweat. She doesn't know. She's never been asked these questions so upfront. And I think she says, well, if he could do it, he would be here. But he's not.
Maybe he was too good for it.
She takes a big deep breath. I don't know what your game is, bringing her defenses back up. I don't know what your game is, but if you're saying this about me, you're saying this about them. What are you saying? We're all second best? I'm second best?
No, I'm just saying maybe you need help more than they do.
think Carmen is like fighting off a panic attack, like a full panic attack is like brewing just underneath the surface. She's like, well, if I need help, then help me. But all you've done so far is like bring problems. What am I even here for? What do you want from me?
Oh, I expected so much more from you. And you feel your body shake as you drop to your knees. You feel like energy was just sucked out of you. I need everybody else who's watching this to roll me assess the situation.
Oh, let's see. I think I have a thing for that.
And you know what? I'll give it to Carmen too. She's having a time. You roll assess the situation as well.
Fully
With
sweating.
your
Claire is sweating.
Assess. Yeah, you're not affected by this right now.
Oh no, I did not take the thing that I was thinking of. That's fine.
With my super fun conditions, that's a 1.
You rolled a.
Yikes.
Dang! Did anyone get this?
I rolled an 8.
Oh, okay. And then Myto. Did Myto get it?
Yeah, I was looking. I got 10 because I have +2 in superior.
Oh wow. So a few things
I
happen.
have a 7.
Okay, 7 will fall in the same as 8. So Orúno's the only one who's not going to see anything. Carmen, your vision starts to go black. Like you're losing consciousness. And Myto, you not only see this where a red light starts kind of like blaring a little bit. Gabriel and Tam, and especially Myto, you guys see as Carmen fell to her knees and this huge smile flashed across Irasima's face. Her hand had been outstretched, and when it came back, you see kind of an electric shock almost. You see electricity flash from Carmen's body into Irasima's hand as she closes it. As Irasima just begins to circle again quietly for a moment.
I think with that sapping of energy, Carmen she's on her knees and she sort of physically softens, more out of like defeat than relaxation, and immediately goes back to a familiar feeling of getting, berated when she was younger, feeling that insecurity, being insufficient, always falling short. And there's a little bit of like dissociating from like the tirade she's receiving of hearing all this stuff that she's worked really hard to like put in a little box and put away as like past life Carmen, and taps back into being like 10 and feeling this sort of verbal tirade and just trying to figure out like what's the right performance right now, like what looks right just to get me out of this situation. And so she just asks, what do you want?
Above table, mark me one more condition and you tell me which one you're marking. And at 3
Hopeless.
conditions, so hopeless?
Yes.
You are angry, or sorry, not angry. You are afraid, insecure, and hopeless. And you are on your knees at this point, hands on the ground. And you see beads of sweat falling down. And you just hear Irasima's voice behind you as your vision is kind of going in and out. And you see in your peripheral Irasima kind of bend down. Maybe you need to start relying on others instead of trying to be the savior. But oh, the irony. As you gasp for breath, I need Gabriel to make make a defend someone roll.
Great, because I was gonna say, he's not dealing with that. Like, if the circling is going one more time and there's like an additional thing, is it defend someone? Is it different from defend? I'm just making sure that
No, just defend. Yeah. Defend someone.
Okay,
defend
cool.
the same.
I just have to make sure that I'm looking at the right thing. Roll plus savior. Funny. Let's do this.
It's funny you should ask.
That is a 9 total.
A 9 total. You feel this before you even see the flash, and you feel something enter your hand as the handle starts to materialize, and you see your shields begin to zap into reality. As you see Carmen now is being encircled once again, but you see Irasima has stopped and has their hand outstretched. As you do not need to roll for it with that, you see electricity being pulled from Carmen as she is starting to sink lower into the ground.
That's enough, okay? And as Gabriel like steps forward, I don't think he like tosses the shield. I don't think he realizes what's happening. He just steps in front of Carmen, and the shield inadvertently like raises up as if it's coalescing with the electric currents, acting as a barrier. You've made your point. Whatever point it is that you've made it. That's enough.
Roll me directly engage a threat.
Sure.
And you get a +1 on this.
Oh, okay. So that's a +2 total. That's a 6.
Okay. You roll it. A 6. Irasima stops, and you still feel the electricity kind of being pulled into the shield, but it's no longer surpassing. And Irasima now walks up to the shield, and she pushes in the front where you didn't notice this before, but there is a glowing blue diamond of sorts in the center. And she looks at you. Our lovely librarian didn't tell you that this is what used to send people, did she? They gave it to you, didn't they?
What are you talking about?
What did Sandra tell you? And she takes a step back with the grin on her face. And Carmen, you begin to kind of get your breath back. Myto, you don't have to roll for it. It seems that once someone stepped in and Irasima's focus shifted, Carmen starts to see her vision come back and her breathing starts to regulate. Above table, your conditions are still there, but your body is starting to regulate.
I think once she starts to feel more herself, even though she's not necessarily like comfortable receiving help, she's feeling so desperate. She's behind Gabriel, right?
Yes.
He's not moved. He is standing stock still in front of you.
I think she goes to stand up as well and just reaches for your arm and just squeezes your arm in like a very sort of subtle, like she's grateful.
He touches your arm, and smiles at you and gestures to like be with the others. For it's a split second, but you see his eyes move towards Tom specifically, directing you over there. Before meeting Irasima's gaze once more, and says, "Just that we have a duty and obligation to the family, and all the other overwhelming information that comes with that. I don't know what you're getting at."
Carmen, do you try to walk away?
No.
Okay. You
Respectful.
don't. No, go.
Gabriel says, "Respectfully, I've gone by everything, every coaching, every guidance that you've given us. But surely you think this is too far, right? If we're meant to help, then harming us isn't the way to go, is it?"
You know she can't move, right? You still don't know. Because you're so... And Irasima starts taking steps towards you, Gabriel, back right in front of the shield. Once again, you are trying to play protector, but you're trying to do it on your own. Maybe that's what you need to unlearn. And maybe it took pushing, and she's gonna push back on that blue diamond again on the shield. As she does it, you feel you see a little spark of electricity on the top of your shield again. What question are you missing?
Just, it's a small thing. As Irasima moves towards Gabriel, I think instinctively Carmen is feeling protective because Gabriel has just saved her from this like deep humiliation that she's just experienced. So she just steps forward to meet Gabriel. If he's in this now, like Carmen's in it too. Like even if she doesn't have any powers, she's not gonna let this old lady fuck around.
What was the last sentence you said again, Kris, just so I can hear it properly?
Oh, I believe it was, what are you missing?
I think he looks, because I think he's getting the through line that we need to be united on this. And he kind of, instead of shouldering and blocking off Carmen, he also recedes to allow Carmen to step forward a little bit. Working together, right? That's the answer. Is that what this test is about? Working together. We're family.
Drop the pride, both of you. And she looks at Carmen. Put your hand on the shield.
Carmen looks at Gabriel.
He
Puts
nods.
her hand on the shield.
And she motions your hand, like kind of nods to move your hand closer to the center where the diamond is.
She does.
I need both of you to roll Unleash Your Powers with +1 for each.
This is great because this is the one I'm worst at. This is the stat I'm worst at. This is great.
Oh no.
Am I unwell? Where is Unleash Your Powers?
Unleash Your Powers will be... It's the second from the top, so you're gonna roll plus Farik.
Gotcha, okay.
I believe. Why can't I find it?
That's 9.
I rolled an 11 minus 2, 9.
9.
go.
Okay.
Hey.
So with this, so both of your choices each mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary, and you don't know what you're doing yet. So
3 conditions.
you already have 3. If you mark 4, you're gonna kind of get put to the ground, just a bit.
You tell me. Wait, I have to mark a condition, or you tell me what happens?
No, I would have you mark one. It's either you mark a
Okay.
condition, or you allow me to tell you how whatever effect is about to happen is unstable or temporary.
I'm gonna go with the second. I'm gonna let.
Okay.
And because you went with the second, I think I will mark guilty.
Guilty. As if the two of you could not have picked more perfect ones. Carmen, you put your hand on the diamond. And as you do, you feel from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, coming from and also extending from your hand, electricity waving through you. This is a confidence you have never felt before, and especially with your conditions, something unnerving, because for the first time, you truly feel in control of something. And as you do this, you both are sick and tired, especially you, Gabriel, of what Irasima has been doing. And you do not need to roll, both of you, to know that this is something that could only have happened with the two of you. And as you see this electricity just beaming from Carmen's hand as she pulls it away, Irasima looks at you guys and goes, "Now send it." And as it's unstable, almost without thinking, and almost in this vengeance for what she just put you through, Carmen, the electricity shoots back through your body and into the blue diamond. Gabriel, you see this blue diamond shoot out from your shield and hit Irasima in the chest. And all 5 of you see this hit Irasima in the chest as these bars of electricity start wrapping around Irasima in this electric cocoon, bringing them to their knees. As you see their hair begin to rise, and with a smile on their face being brought to their knees, Irasima goes, "If you had been in more control of this, you could have sent me right now." As
Gabriel,
you see it stop.
Gabriel, out of guilt, he, like, pulls his shield away.
And you see the blue diamond launch back, entering your shield as Irasima's body is no longer covered in the electricity. And they kind of just, woo, and they stand up. That was enjoyable. So, and they put those fingernails back together. I'm not sorry for what it took, but you two, more than anyone here, come with a sense of pride. She points to you, Carmen. You know I've seen it. That what we see isn't what everyone else is seeing. And you need to know when to join forces and to trust. And her smile kind of drops as she turns to Gabriel a little bit. The big brother, judged for things maybe you don't know about. The protector of people who, let's be honest, probably don't need protecting. And there's a level of sincerity in which they say that as they leave your gaze, look over to the area in which your little sister is sitting, and come back to you. When you drop the pride and work together. If someone or something goes fugue, you two are the only ones that can send it from this plane into peace. And in order to do that, the pride must be dropped, and you cannot work alone.
I think Carmen looks at Gabriel and nods and and hopefully is sharing a moment with Gabriel. And then looks back at Irasima and is like, you could have just said that, bitch.
Well, I needed to do all of these things anyways. You can go back to normal now. And she kind of snaps her fingers for show, and all of your conditions are lifted. Above-
Gabriel,
Oh,
sorry,
No.
as Carmen, you look to Gabriel for the longest time. His gaze is downcast after looking over at Tom and meeting Irasima for a moment. His gaze is downcast for a moment. But once he feels your stare, he looks up at you, and you do share that moment of connection of clearly we're in this together in one way or another. And as he does that, he still averts his eyes from Hiroshima because I don't know, he feels a tad exposed for the ruse that he is playing out. You've made your point.
You two can rest now. As she nods back over to the seating. And we're going to take a quick moment. Myto, you hear the intercom. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not jealous of that. So that probably wasn't fun. But
That was
hey,
intense.
that was
Super
intense.
interesting, though.
Ooh, yes. So, above table, Myto can ask 2 questions about what he just saw.
To Yara specifically, right? Or just
Yara
yeah, but
specifically.
okay.
Yep. So, any questions for me?
Yeah, so that shield, and the blue diamond specifically, I think Irasima said that that's what can send people and help them move on. Is that correct?
Correct. That is. 10 years ago, when, again, Sandra must not have told you, but maybe it was for them to figure out. But about 10 years ago at the last reunion, when people were sending a few of the ancestors were the ones who had those powers, and that was how they are sent. It cannot be done alone, and needs to be done with 2 people because one person should never bear that burden alone.
So, what happens if Gabriel loses that blue diamond? Can that happen?
The blue diamond can't be lost. It could just be rendered unusable if Carmen isn't willing to help.
Okay. So all we need to do is make sure that Carmen and like Mito's like jotting down these notes of like 3 different ideas. Tell her followers about it. Put a cell phone on the blue diamond, and it's just like trying to like gather all the information that they've known about their cousins for the past day, and it's just like, okay, Carmen likes cell phones and attention. Okay. And then yeah, can what happens when and kind of like glances over at Carmen. Can Carmen lose control of her powers? And Mito's kind of like thinking back about like the intensity of not being able to control it when they first got their powers, and is like, what is actually controlling Carmen's power. Is there a way that she can store energy, or is there a way that she can find a way to control it better?
She can learn to control it through opening herself up instead of staying closed. Because then, like electricity in a circuit that repeats itself, it could blow. And then you hear Inyata's voice kind of like breathe a little like a little jokingly. She goes, but to be honest, Irasima is kind of the scariest one out of all of us. Irasima has the ability to absorb vitality and also manipulate the fear of someone, which is probably why you saw the heart rate monitor going up, the breathing going down, Carmen being brought to her knees. Irasima is very good at breaking someone to the point where they need to be in order to look in within oneself.
Interesting. Horrifying, but also kind of cool. Don't tell them I said that. And then Myto just goes right back down to their notepad and is like scribbling down notes.
Ooh, and on that note, a stingray. And you hear the mic cut out.
Stingray, and like Myto's like looking around, like again darting a look over at Stitch's stingray.
Okay, and we go back outside. Irasima just kind of goes back up to one of those little walls that was kind of in between the arena and the seating chart. Oh, I need a break. Oh, Orúno. To the center.
Orúno,
Gabriel walks by you, Orúno, and pats you on the shoulder as if tag teaming you for this.
I think
He
Carmen
kinda-
similarly is like, good luck.
he has this moment where he looks at Irasima and then feels the tap on the shoulder. Considers, looks toward William, and then just puts his fist up. And he just stands up and moves toward the center, his hands sort of fidgeting as he looks down at the markings that now adorn his arms.
And once you get to the middle, you see Irasima kind of stretch a little bit. Why haven't you gone? And you see William go, oh, yeah, it's me. And stand up and start to head to the center. So what
What's
can you
happening?
do?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Roll me assess the situation.
Mm-hmm.
+1, because it's your brother.
That's an 8.
An 8. You notice them, whether you notice them in the beginning or not, when they were first described, you're noticing them again. And the markings that you said were on your body when you transformed, you notice William also has identical markings on the skin that's showing. We're here to practice. You don't know how to use your stuff, so I'm like the expert.
Right. So how did you start?
What did I what?
How did you start?
Oh, I can do it a lot better than they did it before. Here. Actually, I want to sit. My legs are a little tired. And you just see him plop down crisscross applesauce.
Or Orúno just sort of sits as well.
And you guys just all see this big yawn. And he just kind of topples over, head on your lap, as the four of you just watch both of their eyes roll back white. And Orúno, the arena just disappears. And you are now in this darkness, kind of where you were the first time you got your powers. But you're sitting crisscross applesauce on the floor of this darkness, and next to you is sitting William, also crisscross applesauce. This is like my little hideout. Snap your fingers. Roll unleash your powers.
It's the 7.
You see this screen, about 50 foot screen in front of you. It is now the only thing. And there's static. Let me try. And you see William like with a big smile. Like just the faintest little snap that kids do when they're trying to learn how to snap their fingers. And you see a vision, a memory, if you will, come on the screen. And you recognize the memory, but now it's from a different point of view. You see your parents in the kitchen and your mom with the pregnant belly. But you're seeing it from only a couple feet off the ground with hands outstretched on your mother's leg. I'm gonna be a big brother. I'm gonna be a big brother. It's gonna be so cool. Listen, hijo, you have to be so nice to the baby when he comes out, okay? Listen, you can maybe hear his heartbeat, and you hold it very slowly, put your hand, and you just, oh, I felt some kick, and the scene vanishes. And William's just sitting there, like, with a big smile on his face, and just the tiniest hand taps your leg. You were so tiny. You, like, hit me. It's like really hard. I was just feeling, mom just said it was like a little kick, but you were like, ah! Anyways, do the snap again.
Okay.
Roll unleash your powers.
It's a 7 again. You're muted.
Tell me a memory that you were trying to think of, or that you thought of when you saw the memory that your brother just played out on the screen for you.
Orúno is thinking about the first time that he saw William. When William appeared.
And you see that start to come on the screen. Oh, this is creepy. That's what I look like? Why? And you hear something in the memory that you hadn't heard before. And you hear heavy breathing from yourself. The type that you don't realize when you're doing it. What? Why? And you see William's face drop. I shouldn't have showed myself, should I? You seem really not happy.
No, it's not that. It's not that, William. It's just I didn't know you existed. This is all very new to me. It's a lot, but it's not bad. I'm not mad at you.
No, I get it. You don't have to lie.
No, I'm
And
not.
he stands up, kind of hands in fists, as you see these tiny little tears forming in his hand shaking. No, it's okay. All adults do is lie, and they tell you half truths, and
Munín, I'm not-
it's fine. You don't need to tell me anything.
I'm not
And
lying
assess the
to you.
situation.
Turning once again. Here. That's a 5.
He wipes a tear, and you see this white hole appear from underneath him as he falls into it, and it closes.
William? Orúno immediately just goes to where the ground is, and it's just like touching, like trying to find it, and it's just William. William?
I'm right behind you. Adults never see anything. And he looks angry. Roll me assess the situation one more time. And remember, you have a +1.
That's a 6.
That's a 6?
Yeah. I have a minus, so it's like the +1
Yep.
is literally just
It's fine.
compensating. It's just pushing back.
Okay. You just see him there, fist still shaking, and he's kind of averting your gaze.
You know? You're right. Adults do lie. They lied to me by not telling me that you existed. And I'm scared, but I'm also very excited to get to know who you are.
I am pretty cool.
I can see that. You're very talented too.
Well, what can you do? I have a question. Okay.
As a ability for my Dune sign,
Mm-hmm.
Orúno wants to attempt to borrow William's ability, since is the closest thing that he can relate to from someone who's related to him, has the same markings, and is the closest skill they can think of right now.
What are you trying to borrow?
He's just thinking about what to do. He sees the markings on William, thinks of the markings he has on himself, and he's just thinking, can I go invisible?
Ooh. Roll for me, unleash your powers.
That's an 8.
Okay. Your choice. Mark and condition, or I will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary. Also, mark 2 potential at some point because you failed the last 2 rolls.
I am. I'm going to mark insecure.
Okay. You think that there's got to be something with the snapping, and you look down at your hand and try to snap yourself invisible. Which doom sign did you take?
Infinite powers. Mark your doom track to use an ability from any playbook one time.
Then never mind. You go to try to mark yourself invisible. But instead, you see the tears roll back into your brother's eyes. What are you trying to do?
What's happening?
Oh, you have that one too, don't you?
What? I have which one? What?
His eyes are just blinking real big. I need to sit down. And you don't go invisible.
What's William? Are you okay?
What were you trying to do? Oh, my
was-
tears are gone.
Did I do that?
Well, what were you trying to do?
I thought maybe I could do what you do. Go invisible.
Oh. You calmed me down. Kind of felt like you took some of my energy. And above table, you accidentally used vitality absorption. Ooh. You gotta be careful with that one.
You're saying that I took feelings?
Like, and just imagine, like, just this little kid, like, sleepy before bedtime. He kind of puts one little hand back, just paints the sky with his other tiny open hand. Think of it like energy. It's kind of like you took it. But if you take too much... So you want to keep the eyes on that one. I think it took a little bit. And it's gonna take me maybe like a couple naps.
Alright, William, maybe we can go back to the Coliseum. You can get some rest. Maybe get some
Say
help from Hiroshima.
catch. And
Yeah. Catch.
as you like catching your arms open, a white circle appears under both of you, and you kind of fall back into the place that you just were, even though the four of you see nothing different except their eyes roll back, and now you just see William, arms open. Ugh, well, I think we're gonna need some more time to talk about this, because I can't be tired. I have work to do. And then just like kind of quietly, they grab some sand and flick it up into the air. And Orúno, roll me 2d6.
Is it on? 6.
6. You feel your energy drain as William stands up. Ugh! Sorry, little bro. I'm still, as the adults say, on the clock. And he stands up and ruffles your hair. And starts, like, puts a little baby hand out to pull you up.
He just
We got some work to do.
Sort of takes it with some relief to see them, like, re-energized. But his eyes are he's looking at Hiroshima. Because the suggestion of what William just said could happen with this ability is now Ep4 front and center in his mind.
And Irasema just smiles, nods, and mouths. Kids.
So, is there a way to? That's it's dangerous. That's dangerous.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Actually, most of the stuff we can do is really bad. I mean, it's cool down here, but Sandra said it wasn't good, like for
It's
regular
not.
people.
It's not. Sorry, Irasima. That's. This is not something that should be anywhere near someone who can't handle it. I saw him getting weak.
Well, and you guys are like walking back together. Well, that was because you did that. That was your fault. I didn't do it.
Like I said, we got a lot of work, little brother.
And he does a little like 2-punch in your hip.
Oh, what
Forces
did
a
you do
smile.
before? What was that?
Oh, he just sort of forces the smile as he does the fist bump. But he keeps looking at Irasima like as if he's hoping for an answer. Even though he fears that there's not like the one that he'd like to hear.
Well, I've seen worse. And Irasima kind of like taps the seat like next to them, like the open seat for Orúno, as you see William, after giving you the little knucks, skip back to the middle. And he looks off to a side of the Coliseum that you guys don't know what the heck he's looking at, but Myto, he is looking directly into the camera. Well, and just mouths. But you're smart enough, you don't need to roll this. He mouths, "Get ready for the button." Get back! And a question to not any and everyone as a group, he is looking directly at you, Tamsyn.
Tom has been largely dissociating this whole time. Not that she's not listening, but she's sort of observing that this is some kind of like test trying to push us to our limits so that our powers do something like that. And Tom is holding her stick in her two hands just on her lap and has probably started rubbing their thumbs against the wood absentmindedly, but just has been going between just like staring down at this thing and feeling a sense of dread rise in her because she has no idea what she's going to do with this. And when the attention is turned back to me, Tom kind of is jolted out of her thoughts and looks up and says, "Oh, I guess it's my turn."
Yep.
And she stands up and will swing a leg over the barrier using two hands to hold on to the short wall and then hops over it. Okay. What do you want me to do? And I have the stick with me and I'm just walking out towards the middle of the room.
Fun. And William will wait till you get to the center. Do you approach near him?
Yeah.
Okay. right when you guys were about a foot away from each other in the center, you see William turn around, salute, okay, hit the button! And Myto, you see a button appear from below the desk with a little, like, top red button.
Myto kind of hesitates and snaps twice and looks over at Stitches like, you do it. I don't want to do it. And gets Stitches to come over, and Stitches is like looking at Myto in like a very apprehensive way, and I was like, come on. We'll both split the blame. You hit the button. I don't know them and they don't know you, but I'm human and you just hit the button. And I think Stitches jumps onto the button.
And on our end, I think Tom sees William turn around and salute in the direction that Myto has gone in, and she's just like, wait, what? What button? What button? And then there's like a long pause. And then what happens?
You all hear the ground begin to make noises from the sand. It feels like an earthquake almost to all of you as stone walls begin to arise from the sand floor. And surrounding William and Tom, as all three walls, one appears on top, and then Tom, the last thing you see as the stone continues around and closes and envelops you in, you see the confusion in Gabriel's eyes as it shuts. And the three of you in the stands can no longer see Tamsyn.
Can Myto still see the vitals?
Myto can see inside, and Myto can hear inside.
Okay.
Tom looks at William, just like down at him. Okay. Now what? And Tom looks around. How big is this stone box?
Yeah. I'm gonna say it's about like, and this might be my interpretation, I'm gonna say it's about like 20 by 15 by 20. So it's not small enough that it's like super claustrophobic, and you're still getting like light from the inside or from the outside, like cutting through some of the cracks.
So there's no roof?
There is a roof.
Oh.
You are encapsulated in this box with just William.
How is light getting in?
Cracks in the stone.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Well-
so Tom looks down at Will. Yeah, what now?
I was told that you can get out of this. So, how are we getting out? What can you do?
I have no idea. I can breathe underwater.
Oh, that will okay. Well, I guess we can all do that. Not that it's not cool. I didn't mean it like that. It's super cool. But dude, what is does stick like grow into things? Like,
I don't know. Literally,
you just got a stick.
I just got a stick.
And
she holds it out and tries to like stick it in the ground and like lets go to see if anything happens, kind of like a la Moses in Prince of Egypt, and I'm assuming it falls over and just clatters to the ground.
You like put it
unless
in
unless I'm
go.
Really good at balancing it and it stands up.
You like get it
that
a
my
couple
power?
inches into the sand, and William, like as you let your hand go, it stays straight. He's like, and as his inhale stops, just
Okay. Nope. And Tom will lean down and pick it up again.
try to help, maybe figure it out. It might be weird, because like sometimes, Irasima told me that sometimes people's emotions are causing the block. So if you let me help you, like inside your thoughts, I can try to find out what's blocking it, maybe, if it's like innate. But no funny business though, like Scouts Honor, Boy Scouts Honor. I don't know what they do anymore, but the honor.
You want to get in my thoughts?
Yeah, sometimes if maybe there's something inside that you're scared about, but you don't know you're scared about, it can block the ability for the Melenda help.
I don't think I'm scared of anything. And Tom's still listening, but is going to walk around the perimeter of this box and just see if there's like, a puzzle or like a smart way out. Because like maybe I don't have powers. Maybe the stick is a red herring, and maybe there's a puzzle in here for me to solve. Like, this is the world's like most boring escape room. Like, how do I get out?
Yep. Roll
Looking
me
for
assess the
clues.
situation.
I would love to. Let me find that on my character sheet. Plus superior, of which I have none.
Oh no.
That's good though. I'm bad at math.
finally.
8.
Okay. Let me just pull up this bad boy. So you can
Get to
ask
ask
me
a question.
one of those questions,
Cool.
or you can come up with one on your own if you'd like. You don't necessarily have to ask
No, I'm
both.
gonna pick from this list because there's some good options here. I have a funny answer and Tom's actual answer, and I'm gonna say the funny one first.
You
the
can only
very
ask
first-
one.
No. This is the funny
okay.
answer, not the
Oh,
real
okay,
question.
okay.
I'm saying the funny answer first. The funny answer, the very first one is, what here can I use to blank? The funny answer is, what here can I use to get out? But I know that we're gonna figure that out. So my actual answer is, how could we best end this quickly? Because I think Tom knows that Gabriel, mostly Gabriel, but maybe the others are worried. Because so far we've been able to see everybody,
Mhm.
except for Myto, but like Myto's just been chilling, I think we all assumed. But they can't see me, and I'm assuming they can't hear me, so Tom is worried about Gabriel being worried.
You start pacing around, looking at the stone to see if there's cracks or anything that maybe your stick is like got this little hold that you're supposed to do, and like you're supposed to do a shimmy. So you spend like a minute going around. The three of you outside, you normally would probably be very fearful, but you feel no anxiety and no fear in this situation, as Irasima is just kind of waving her hand every now and again. They will be fine. She's in the hands of William. This is where we don't interfere.
There's a
And
big neon
it's-
sign that says, Tom is fine. Tom is fine.
And it's like this weird bliss that you three are in, where it's almost like this like natural high of like, yeah, like let's see what's gonna happen. This is kind of cool. Again, above table, Irasima and the fear manipulation can work both ways. As we flash back inside, and Tamsyn, you've gone around and you have not found anything. Any clue, a rune, a little scribble, maybe William wrote on crayon here somewhere, like X marks the spot. Nothing. And you look back at William that's just standing in the corner, eyes wide, hands in front of him kind of held together.
Okay, and Tom, I think, just quits, though, after doing a lap, just walks straight back to William and says, okay, so you want to get in my brain.
Think of it like the boring office jobs. I can just open the file cabinet and go, and if something shouldn't be there, I can usually find it. And if it's blocking the powers, as he pushes up his non-existent glasses, I can find it and I can help you. Maybe the stick changes into a lion. And he like holds the sides of the stone wall. No, that wouldn't make sense in here. But I can help.
Hey, you're just gonna how do we do this?
You just hold hands. Or we can hold pinkies. Or I can just poke you. Whatever you're comfortable with.
Tom suddenly like whirls around and does like a thing with her hands just to see if anything happens.
You do the and you see nothing, but you hear off to the side William go, hee hee.
See, I told you you're funny. That was cool.
Yeah, but nothing. Okay, whatever. Okay, so we hold hands, and Tom lays the stick down and just offers her hands. And then before, if he goes to reach for them, she pulls away in the kind of like, haha, you can't touch me thing. And then says, wait, you just have to promise me that if you come across anything weird, that it's a secret.
Okay. I'm not gonna tell anyone.
You promise?
Pinky promise.
Okay, because this is my brain.
Pinky promises are very... Are you gonna pinky promise?
Okay. And we'll go in for the pinky promise.
And as you go in for the pinky promise and your fingers interlock, your eyes roll back white. And you don't... you still kind of in this weird way see what's in front of you, but it's more of a fog. And you hear kind of in your head a little bit this voice, okay, well, so there's a lot of stuff in here. It's time you clean this out. And you like ironically hear this like file cabinet sound. Okay, no, not there, no, not there. Ooh, a TV.
Tom thinks, can you hear me think?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Tom
You got a TV in here.
Tom almost swears, but then obviously you can hear the thoughts, so he just hears Tom go, ah, shit!
Oh, yep, I've heard
Sorry.
those things before.
Sorry.
No, you're good. It's okay. Oh, think of something or someone that makes you happy.
I think Tom thinks about... I think there's a couple images that kind of like flash and wash over Tom's thoughts. I think she thinks of some of her like really good friends from school who she keeps up with and visits on the weekends when she's not working. And she thinks of Gabriel, and she thinks of her mom.
Okay. You are thinking all of these thoughts, and you're thinking all of these thoughts, and you just hear like these tiny little footsteps all around you. But it's like it's weird. It's in your head.
Yeah.
You're not, and then all of
Echoey
a
and
sudden, when you think about Gabriel, you hear, "Oh, that TV! Hold on, I'm finding the remote." And you hear the tiniest little click before your eyes roll back, and you see William standing next to you with your still like holding the pinkies, but his eyes are still rolled back. Okay, hold on. We just gotta find the right channel. And you begin to see in front of you memories play out. The first memory in front of you, and it's weird. It's like the memory is getting projected almost onto one of the stone walls. And this one is the first time you can remember seeing your mother. And you are watching yourself as if it's a home video. Wide leg stance, running towards your mother Miriam's arms as she catches you and showers you with kisses and applauds you taking these big steps. She turns to the side and you see her bringing Gabriel into this two-sibling embrace as she says how proud she is of you both.
Not this channel.
You hear a click, and you see the vision blur before a new vision comes up. And it's your first day of third grade. You're sitting at the breakfast table, you and Gabriel sitting two sides of the square dining table, and your parents, one sitting in between each of you. And Miriam's asking how excited you and Gabriel are for your next, first day of school.
No, that one's not it either.
And you hear click, 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 until it stops. At a more recent memory about 10 years ago, the last time you were all at the family reunion. And it's the morning after you had all arrived. And you see Gabriel speaking with some of the elders on the beach near the ocean while you're sitting in the shade underneath a palm tree beside your mother. And she's telling you of how proud she is of you and Gabriel and the work that you've been doing in Neutral Wave, and how she's honored to one day pass this company down to you both. But as she's giving you guys these compliments, the vision begins to glitch. And you notice the memory starts to stutter. And your voice's mother begins to distort, as if somebody is hitting pause every couple seconds. And you feel an immense pressure start to form in your hand as you look down for a moment, and the stick that you had dropped is now in your right hand.
Tam, I think we have a little bit of problem. I've been able to find where the access is getting stuck, but this is, not gonna be easy. Can you take a quick deep breath, please?
Tom, I think out loud just says, "It's Tom," but obliges.
Okay, deep breath.
And I need everyone except Tom and Myto to take their headphones off. Only the two of you now see this. As you hear the click, 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 and your vision across the stone wall takes you back to that memory of some of your first steps. Again, you're watching yourself wide leg stance, running into your mother's arms as she's showering you with kisses and applauding you taking some big steps. But this time, she doesn't turn to the side and doesn't bring Gabriel in. This time, you see Gabriel, a few years older than you, peeking around the corner with this look of sadness in his eyes, watching you as your mother embraces you and says how proud she is of you. You, in this box, begin to feel the ground beneath you shake, and your hand is gripping tighter around the stick. As the vision shifts again to the memory of your first day of 3rd grade, sitting at the breakfast table, same seating arrangement, and this time Miriam's asking only you if you're excited for the new day of school, occasionally stopping the conversation to turn to Gabriel with a much colder look and whispering, if you don't finish your breakfast, you're not getting any dessert for lunch. I don't know how many times I have to tell you this. And then turning back to you with a smile and asking you to continue talking about how excited you are. And for a moment, your vision snaps back to the stone box you're trapped in, and you see the walls begin to shake as cracks begin to form around the wall. And the vision blurs one last time, as again you see yourself 10 years ago, the last time you were at the family reunion, the morning after you had arrived. And you see Gabriel speaking with some of the elders on the beach, but this time the elders look uncomfortable around him, as though they're trying to get out of conversations with him. And you shake your head in confusion, but turn back to your mother, sitting in the shade, and she's talking about all the plans she has for you, for Neutral Wave, and how she's honored to one day pass the company down to you. And when you bring up Gabriel, the vision and memory begins to fade out, as she breaks your gaze and sighs, shaking her head, shrugging her shoulders, and looking at Gabriel. The vision is abruptly cut short, and your vision returns entirely to the box, and there's no more memory in front of you. Take a condition and tell me which one you're taking.
I think it's gotta be guilty.
Guilty? Okay. And also roll me Unleash Your Powers.
Sure. Freak. Which I also have nothing in.
Oh no. Perfect.
Great.
Don't say that.
That's a 3.
Okay. This feeling of guilt almost overtakes your knowledge of how tightly you are gripping your stick. You see the stone walls around you start to begin to shake uncontrollably as though a small earthquake is occurring, and all of you can see this. You see William has let go of your hand and is no longer near you, both hands and his back against the wall. What's happening? What's happening?
I don't know. I don't know.
I want to get out. I'm getting scared. I don't know. I don't know why things looked different. I didn't mean to. But
I don't.
Damn, I'm
I don't
scared.
I don't
I'm
know.
scared.
I don't know. And she, I think, still is gripping this stick with her hand, and not even really realizing it. Is going to try to go over to him to comfort him.
Okay.
And she's gonna run towards him because I know he's ran away. But I think like she stops herself because she also has enough self-awareness to be like, oh, this is the most terrifying thing that could happen to like a immortal 6-year-old child who's already scared is the person who may or may not be causing all of this to just run at you. And so Tom is going to cast cast the stick down, just throw it down. And I think she also realizes how much she's sweating and how much like the adrenaline coursing through her veins, and she just feels like this overwhelming like waves of heat rolling up and down her body. And she says, I don't know if this thing is gonna cave in. We need to get out of here. Get out of here. How do we get out of here? And I think Tom like goes to one of the walls and just puts a hand on it to try to like brace herself. Because Tom, fun fact about her, she's not a huge fan of enclosed spaces. And I think she's kept it chill this whole time because William seemed really chill in here, and it's not like I was alone in here. I think if I was alone in here, we'd be on a whole nother level of this is a problem. But now that he's freaking out, Tom is losing her cool like very, very, very quickly. And I think it's kind of like that. I forget what the effect is called in film, where it just feels like the walls are enclosing in on me, and everything's shaking. And I think Tom just is like has one hand on the wall, one hand is like tugging at her clothes, and I think she is just like on the verge of a panic attack, and is like trying to breathe, and just says, we need to get out. We need to get out. How do we get out? How do we get out? And then she's going to just start like looking around in this panic, and is going to start calling for Gabriel. And she turns towards the wall, I think, where one of the cracks is forming, and she tries to like yell out through that crack, and she calls your name.
The three of you hear nothing. But I need you, Tom, to roll me Unleash Your Powers one more time with a +1.
It's the pity +1.
No, it's a +1 because William's there.
Oh, okay. It's the pity +1.
Oh,
God. 5.
5.
Wait, +1, 6.
Same thing. Mark of potential.
Okay.
with guilty, you yell through this crack. And because of how you rolled, you have no control. You have pain in your voice as you're calling out for the person who has always come to your rescue, while you're trying to defend someone who is now calling for you. And the deep breathing, the fast breaths, you are taking the largest inhale you ever have done in your life, even more than the first time you stepped in the ocean coming down here with Hiroshima. And you shout for Gabriel's name. And what all of you see from the outside as things are happening, whether Tom realizes it or not, whether eyes are open or not, your breath breaks through a hole in this stone wall.
And I
But
think
it's not going to be facing everyone else. It's facing a different side.
cool, because we love the getting disoriented in the box.
Mhm.
Tom, I think, sees like the tiniest hole break through the wall, and she looks back at William, and assuming he's still freaking out, Tom, I think is thoughts are a whirlwind of emotions, and she tries to like reach through the hole, and I think her hand is too big to get through there.
Mhm.
And she is still kind of like looking around, and I think this overwhelming force of it might be anger, it might be helplessness, it might be this overwhelming feeling of guilt. These memories are confusing to her because I think she knows that her mom loves her. But now she's feeling guilty because maybe her mom only loves her. And that thought is so much for her. And she calls again for her older brother through the hole, and will I think is saying sorry to William, saying sorry for all of this, is really scared that this box is going to cave in on her and him, and will I think just wind up and will try to punch her fist through this hole.
Okay. Roll Unleash Your Powers with the +1 because it's William, and then because of the lead up, another +1.
Okay.
Not pity. That was
Not pity.
not pity. I will not give you guys pity rolls.
That's cocked.
That was incredible.
Oh yeah. I love when the dice go with what you've said. That is an 11.
You have never been so overwhelmed in your life. Every emotion is hitting you at the same time. The love you have for your mother, the love you thought your mother had for Gabriel, the confusion of what is real anymore. Seeing possibly for the first time in your life somebody begging you to help them and to take on this older sibling protective nature of sorts. And as you wind your fist back, as it starts to punch through the stone, there is this euphoric release of everything you've always thought you could be. but you've never really gotten the chance to show on your own. And as you punch the wall, your fist does not go through the stone. Your fist goes through the first couple inches of the stone, and all of you see this stone wall, before you can even push your fist through, Tom, is launched into the side of the Colosseum, 50 plus feet away, driving through the rock stone steps and shattering to pieces. The shaking of the ground ceases, but only after a loud bang as the top of stone above you shoots into the wall behind you, falling down. And you see the other 3 walls, the stones break. The ones you did not even touch, and crumble into dust before everyone's eyes.
I think Tom is still like in the follow through of this punch, and then just like kind of like looks around as everything crumbles, and she's got like this really, really shocked face and turns immediately to look for William to make sure he's okay.
And he looks up at you. And he starts to get this smile from fear to astonishment as he looks up to you. You're funny and incredible.
I didn't think I was either of those things. And then immediately goes to look for Gabriel. Like, turns towards where everyone was sitting.
As the camera goes to the look, you 2 lock eyes, but the camera begins to pull away. As this silence enters the room, as Irasima's eyes are wide, a look that you would not expect from her. And the camera begins to pull away, leaving one of the most astonishing things and moments that this Colosseum has ever seen. Leaving a moment of coming into oneself and making do with what you didn't know was possible before. And leaving many questions behind. And as the camera pulls back out of the ceiling, it now travels backwards and pulls back to that grand radio building, focusing in on the respectable library next door. We see a shadow of a woman walk through the doorframe of Sandra's house, and Sandra hands a folded photo to the shadowed figure. Don't forget. Please. They would not want you to. And we see the shadowed woman quietly exits, closing the door behind her. And this shadowed woman standing outside the library, back to the door, we see a tear fall to the folded photo. And as the camera fades to black, this figure unfolds the photo, and we see a baby picture of Myto. And on that, we will wrap episode 4. A huge thank you to my players. Oh my gosh, one of the best role-playing episodes I have ever seen, let alone been honored to witness. The roleplay that we have seen here tonight. I have many questions, and I can't wait to see what happens in episode 5. I don't know, maybe more than my players. A special shout out, personally, to Jay for that chef's kiss of a roleplay. Oh my goodness. I'm even a little bit in shock at just mwah, But we are going to let our lovely, lovely cast members now outro themselves let you know where you can find their talented selves. And we're going to go backwards, starting with Jay. Unless you need a moment and we can hop back.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm good. Hi, everyone. My name is Nala or Jay. My pronouns are they, them. I've been Tamsyn Zhao, who uses she, they. You can find me on Twitter at NalaWoo or at NalaDraws if you want to see my artwork. I'm also NalaDraws on every other social media that I have. I am a full-time art director and illustrator. I do freelance. I'm working on a lot of really cool things right now, so you should keep your eyes peeled on that one. I also do voice acting, sensitivity consulting, and TTRPG actual play stream performance. Y'all should go watch Last of Eden's Vices. It's a VTM Vampire the Masquerade show set in Providence, Rhode Island. My character is a sad wet cat art school dropout burnout character. I loves him very much, as their name's Erlen. And the whole coterie is kind of a mess. Our coterie name is Dead E-Girl Den, by the way. So if that says anything about the kind of of um, show that it is, y'all should go watch that. Also, you should watch Itaewon by Night. It is another VTM show. We have 2 seasons out, and we are the first and only all Asian cast to play VTM on stream. That show is incredible as well. And like I said, 2 seasons out, so that's all available to watch. I have a lot of things that I don't know timing of when I can say things when this will come out, but that's me, and I'm just so excited. Tom is very buff now. Or just is stronger. She doesn't look any different, but she's buff. And I'm very excited because I usually don't play the physical characters, so I'm very excited. And I'm gonna pass it to my older brother, Gabriel, played by Val.
Older brother taking the baton. Hello, everybody. My name is Valiant Dorian. I use him, his pronouns. You can find me all on the internet at Valiant Dorian or at Also Spirit Bear. Please enjoy that lovely treasure I'm just saying on. And tonight I have the distinct pleasure of playing Gabriel Zhao, who uses he, they pronouns and is having a time. You can find my work all across the internet. I'm a TTRPG AP performer. I'm a Twitch variety streamer, a TTRPG talk show host, and game designer. Check out my game, The Beast Within. Hopefully, by the time this is out, my quick start guide is out for you all to peruse and play your very own Wrathful Werebeasts. And you can also find me on Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, over at Transplanar RPG, where I play Sayir, who uses he, they pronouns, and is the misbeloved twin brother of the Chosen One. I seem to play a lot of siblings. But with that, I'm going to pass it on over to whomever is next.
It's Victor.
Victor.
Hi, everybody. Victor here. I play Orúno, Munín, pronouns he, him, just as myself. And you can find me as Victor _ the Story Weaver on TikTok and go from there. So, yeah, thank you.
Ooh, it's my turn. Hey, y'all. My name is Danny. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me all over the internet at BrutalDan. That's BR00TALDAN. Tonight, I had the pleasure of playing your geeky little nerd cousin, Myto Bui. They, any pronouns with their little companion. I'm just going to say companion now, Stitches. Feel free to follow my Substack, Digital Thickness with 2 C's, where I talk about digital marketing, community building, social media, and pop culture through a queer lens. And yeah, this was a very fun episode. And Kris, that ending, little baby Myto, what the heck is going to happen? I don't know. Tune in next time. And Clare.
Oh my god, what an episode. Hi, I'm Claire. My pronouns are she, her, and I've been playing Carmen today. And don't follow me, follow Jay. That was amazing roleplay. So that's all.
No, follow you. Where's
No, we're
I have a
done.
mirror
This is
first.
recorded.
I have a
This
mirror.
is
mirror.
I have a mirror. I have a mirror. I can't do the bit
Oh,
and
I
I
love
can't
this.
show where. Oh, because y'all are here. Wait.
Over there.
There you are. Uno reverse.
And I am Kris, aka D&D Imposter, your lovely storyteller for this game. But really, storylines don't exist without these amazing players. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. I'll be talking about it all week to only the producer, because that's the only person I can talk to about it besides you guys. But what an honor it has been to help guide this episode. Oh my goodness. Anyways, you know where to find all these guys. You know where to find me. It has been an absolute honor to have you all here with us tonight, and we will see you next week. Talk to you or see you guys soon. We will see us.